Hi, today's Grow Joe I'm going to show you a little bit about what importance water has in the garden. Well, would you like to follow me to the pond? Okay, this way then. Now when you're designing an area for your pond, you really want the plants to match. Well, here we're walking amongst the palms. This is a palm called Trachycarpus fortunei. It's hardy, also called the Chusan or the Windermere palm. It's very hardy in this country and it's a terrific thing to see. Now as we go down towards the pond, small pond, this plant really looks good around the pond. It's called a Zanzidacia. There's several different colours. This one I think we got from a car boot sale. But it's a beautiful big unusual lily sort flower. Loves it where it's wet. So you may see a few dinosaurs around. Keep quiet just in case. Now if we go down to the pond itself, my pond's a very small pond, but rather than have the ugly plastic edging, I like to disguise it. So it's all disguised with bits of old stone. Now you can see the stone has got moss on it. You can collect the moss from around your garden, as long as it's the right sort, and this isn't the sort you get out of your lawn, it's the sort you might find growing on a concrete path or something. You can poke it in all the corners where it gets nice and damp, so close to the water, and it will be quite happy. And we'll just have a look around the pond and see what else we've planted. Wow, as you can see we've got ferns. That one is Dicksonia antarctica. It's a tree fern. I like tree ferns and I grow them from spores. So here we go, and that is a bit of a log. It's a dead tree fern. As we go towards the back, you can see I need to do some weeding, but there, that's Blechnum chiliensis, another fern, a harder variety of fern. And I think that's Woodwardia fibrillata. There's some cyatheas here as well, and some more Dicksonias. And this is what looks fantastic. This is a hardy fern, and that's not a dead leaf, that's the leaf that has all the spores on it. And that's the bit that makes the baby ferns. They have a very strange life cycle, but it's a really nice thing if you fancy growing them. And then we go on. All of these look great. Some nice big leaves there, that's Jack in a pulpit leaves, and they really do quite well. And that's a native plant, it just popped up in my border and I hadn't the heart to get rid of it, and we quite like it. It has an unusual flower when it does flower, and the flower itself is something, I think it's called a spathe or something, and it actually traps flies, but only for a night, and then releases them covered in pollen the next morning. Unfortunately it has red berries that look delicious but are extremely poisonous. And down we go to the bottom, there's the Hart's tongue fern. And this little thing, I have no idea what sort of fern it is. It popped up in a packet of seeds for something else, and it looked quite nice, so I kept it. And here we go down to the pond itself. Not every pond has to have fish, and this time of year mine doesn't have fish at all, but it has newts, and the newts in my pond do quite well, and they live here quite happily. And the baby newts, oh, see if I can see a newt that's showing up now. You see just underneath, you'll see a newt walking along. There he goes, like a small lizard, just under the log in the centre of the screen. And that's a female, and she's returned to the water this time of year to lay her eggs. And the eggs she'll tuck in a piece of weed, each individually, and they grow and they grow, and when they hatch out, they're about the size of, I don't know, full stops with little tails. Unlike frogs, tadpoles, these tadpoles they eat other animals. So they eat all the water fleas and the mosquito larvae that's all in the water. So they keep down your population of mosquitoes, which is well done of them. And then as we look around, these are plants that just decided to grow. They look like lesser willow herb to me, but never mind. They'll grow for a while. Had a little interest. I put some decking up to my pond for no other reason than I think it looks good when you step over the edge and you can stare into the water. Later on in the year, perhaps if things lighten up a little bit, I might get one of the very miniature water lilies to put in. This is such a small pond, it'll have to be an extremely tiny water lily. But I'm looking forward to doing that and choosing it from the catalogues. You see it in the centre of the shot? There. Those leaves are lily of the valley leaves. Although everything about the plant is quite poisonous, the flowers really are beautiful and sweet smelling. Now, ponds. Well, they always say a lot about ponds, that they have to be over 40 square feet and they have to be this and have filters and have running water. I find that nature takes care of its own ponds, and eventually they settle down and there's their own population of predators and prey, and they build up into a nice little community, and they rarely get smelly or dark or full of rubbish, as long as you don't clean them out too much. And sometimes we even get frogs in our pond, and they just wander in from the next door neighbours. Right, one or two other plants you might like to see around my pond. This one here. Right, that is Nechium from Tenerife. And then we go on to the next one, which is Christmas rose. This is an area of weed, by the way. It's just going to be our new lawn. So we put in some seed. It really needs to be mown, and then all these broadleaf weeds, they'll start to disappear, and we'll end up with a thicker and thicker grass lawn. And then no doubt my kids will want to play football on it. So, and these, by the way, sometimes you can get them in some of the Jubo shops. They're glowing stones. You put them around the pond and they kind of look spooky at night, and my kids really love that. Okay, that's a little bit about ponds. Our ponds are just left. We don't put anything special in them. Okay, well that's the Grojo for today. I hope ponds is of some interest. If not, just get yourself a container of water and put it in the garden. Grow some moss around it. A mossarium they call them. And they can all look very attractive. Well, another day when you don't see my ugly face. Well, that's got to be a plus, isn't it? It's Vince of Grojo, signing off for today. Have fun, stay safe, and keep growing. Bye.